Okay, as you know, this is probably one of our favorite shows of the year with Dr. Joel Fuhrman. This is where he tells us his favorites of the year, the must-have, the Nutritarian must-haves. And guess what? Guess who's back? Dr. Joel Fuhrman. And today he's going to share his biggest must-haves for 2024. Hello, my name is Lillian McDermott, and I am a certified life coach and the host of the Lillian McDermott radio show. If this is your first time joining us, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide natural ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, as you know, this is the year, this is the season to give gifts. But what about gifts that will last forever, or at least endure for a long time, like our health, our wellness? Many people spend a lot of money doing things that spending money on things that really don't matter. But our health, let me tell you, that is the only thing that matters. And today, Dr. Joel Fuhrman is going to share what he loves for 2024 and what we should know as a Nutritarian, what we must have as well. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Dr. Joel Fuhrman is here to do just that. Welcome, Dr. Fuhrman, to the classroom.
Hi, Lily. Nice to be here.
Yeah, and I hear something major happened this December. And so would you like to share?
Not really, but okay, if I must. I turned 70 years old.
Yay, but you know what? That's a wonderful accomplishment. Happy birthday. Congratulations.
Thank you. Obviously don't feel like I'm 70, but I don't know what 70 is supposed to feel like. Maybe you're not supposed to feel anything as you get older. And I haven't changed my athletic endeavors or abilities since I was much younger. It's funny because when I came out of medical school at age like 34, residency in medical school, age 35, 36, I'd go skiing and my back would kill me and I'd be so sore I could hardly do it because I wasn't in great shape. But now that I'm 70, I have more time to exercise and stay in great shape. So now I can ski harder, ski longer, hit the moguls all day. And my back doesn't get sore. I don't have back problems because I'm fitter now than I used to be, when I was younger.
Well, you look great. I am so grateful that you're one of my mentors. I'm looking forward to, I want to slow down time. And like you said, I don't know what 60 should feel like, but I know I feel better now than I did when I was younger. So yeah. I really do believe you're making a difference, Dr. Fuhrman. And I just wanted to honor you. I knew that your birthday was at the beginning of December, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to see the possibility of what 70 could look like and beyond. So
what was so cool is that my wife hijacked my Instagram and Facebook account.
Yeah.
And they said, a surprise for Dr. Fuhrman, say something about Dr. Fuhrman's 70th birthday, how he affected your life. And my goodness, there was like 1,000 people expressing their gratitude for how I changed their life. It was so touching and tearful. And I got poems written about family. I just got so much expression of love that it was just from my family, but also from the outside world. It was just an incredibly, moving birthday to see and to reflect and see all these people whose lives I've touched. Just make me feel so good.
The gifts that used to matter before don't matter as much today. The gifts from the heart. I wrote something, I don't know if you saw my comment too. And it's so funny, the people that follow me, I got to see what they wrote too. You have made a difference and you continue to make a difference. And I was hoping that somehow, somewhere today, we would see either your abs or your guns. So I think I wrote that on my notification.
I think my kids put a picture of us on a hike together when I was white with no shirt up there,
Yes, exactly. Hey, listen, if you still got it, flaunt it. But
right.
No, I just wanted to start today's class because I know that people I thought 60 was going to be tough, but I'm thinking maybe 70 will be tough. But actually, when I turned 30, that was the toughest year And it was because I feel that I didn't feel whole. And once you feel whole, you just keep getting better. And that's what I see in you. You just keep getting better. So good job. Good job, Dr. Fuhrman.
Thank you.
So are you prepared with a show and tell for today or of your must-haves?
You know, it's funny because like you said, check in 10 minutes before the show. So I checked in 10 minutes before the show. I saw what the show title was about and go, oops, I better get some stuff together. I have 5 minutes together. But yeah, I'm ready.
Nothing like, you know what? You could probably rattle this off in your sleep. So let's get started for your Dr. Fuhrman's 2024 must-haves. Here we go.
All right. Well, why don't I start with a few products that I actually make available to the public, okay?
Perfect.
One is this coconut deodorant. It's a coconut cream that we sell on the website. It's really inexpensive, but it's phenomenal because it's like creamy. You could probably eat it, use it as a hair cream or whatever. So it's like a little coconut fluff, and you just rub it under your arms. And it's like you don't smell for like days. It's like I go to the gym, I go running in the woods, I'm not, skiing all day, and I don't even smell. It's like crazy. It's
wait a minute. You don't smell for days, but you bathe in between, right?
I don't shower. I only shower once a week, whether I need it or not.
Got it. That's how our skin stays so young. We just bathe once a week.
That's, you shouldn't be putting soap on your body. Your armpits, of course, you want to wash if you're smelly, but, I don't, but seriously, I probably only shower once every 3 days, 2 or 3 days, twice a week.
Okay.
But I still might wash under my arms if I smell or something, but I want to use this deodorant because you don't want to wash the oils off your skin. But this stuff's really fantastic. So this one I mentioned.
When did you start selling that?
I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like a coconut cream. It works really fantastic.
Well, coconut is it's so good. I mean, it also pulls toxins from our body. Like people do coconut oil pulling. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Oil pulling?
What's so good is if you're hungry and you're in the woods and nothing to eat, you can just lick under your armpits. Okay, now I'm okay.
Okay, it's a win-win. Okay. How many calories does that have?
Okay, the next one is that here's the issue. Sunscreens penetrate into your bloodstream and cause cancer. They're endocrine disruptors. We shouldn't be using sunscreens.
Yes.
So we have on this website this Cabana Green Screen. It's a mineral-based sunscreen made out of zinc oxide. So, but keep in mind, it's not nanoparticles. So it doesn't penetrate into the blood. It's a non-nanoparticle zinc oxide. So when you put it on, obviously, it leaves a little bit of a white tinge on your skin. It leaves a little bit of a white tinge. Then you know it's on. You're protected. If these sunscreens that disappear that people want to put on so they don't see anything, they're either one or two things. Either they're going through the skin into the blood, which can be risky for you, or they're no longer offering you protection. This, when you see the white film, so you know it's active offering you protection, it's really a true sun block because it's blocking the sun through a mechanic. It's like wearing a hat. So it's that, and I don't wear sunscreen much because I usually just wear coverings, like for example, I have a hat with a back to it,
Now, is that one of your favorites? One of your favorites?
Yeah. And then of course, since I wear the sunscreen playing tennis, so I can't even gardening, I can't like dig with the thing on, but I'm just going for a hike or out there in the woods or something outside. Then I'll just put on, instead of putting sunscreen, I'll put on this face mask, which snaps right onto the hat.
That is so cool.
So
what is the brand of that hat?
The brand of the hat is Coolibar.
Coolibar?
Coolibar, yeah.
Okay.
So when you put it on, see, I can be outdoors in the summer all day long, and I don't have to wear. This way, I'm not like threatened by the
paparazzi.
The paparazzi when I'm in the woods. Like my ski helmet that covers my face, people think I'm Brad Pitt or something, Okay, but anyway,
last year when we did this show, you did the helmet, the mask, the thumb, for skiing, and you started the show with Luke, I am your father.
But so you can adjust this, and there's other hats too. I have other hats, but the point is, I'll if I'm digging holes in the garden, it'll get in my way. But if I'm playing tennis, I don't want to wear that, but I'll just use sunscreen. If I'm just going for a hike, or a run, I'm not going to bother with sunscreen. I'll just or go long. I'm gone for 3 hours
You have
sometimes.
the long shirts.
No,
Long sleeve
just
shirts.
I'll even have gloves, light gloves on sometimes, because I'll get my sunshine in the morning or late in the day, but not staying up for 2 hours or 3 hours straight in the hot middle of the day sun. Or I'll just be covered up.
Well, I love your headgear, and so that's Coolie Bar, and it comes with an attachment where you can cover your face. Now, does it keep you from? Does it keep you from? Does it bother your face, or does it keep you from breathing?
No, it just hangs on the edge of the hat. It doesn't even touch.
Oh, doesn't even touch your face. Okay.
Well, it has a little thing that just like maybe my touches like bridging your nose if you want to set it there, but otherwise you just set it. You could adjust it.
Well, it's
I have another hat that has a piece of Velcro that goes across, and the Velcro attaches to the other side. And you could set it lower so it just covers your chin, or higher to cover more of your face. So you could look at, so you can get yourself, so you don't really have to have even sunglasses on because you're in the shade all the time. Your eyes are in the shade all the time.
Very good, very good. And how long have you been wearing that hat and the cover up, the Coolie Bar?
I don't know, maybe 10 years.
10 years. Okay, well, good, very good. So, okay, the Coolie Bar with the hat and the cover up, that's number 3. Here we go.
We got
and we had the sunscreen. Now, with the sunscreen, let me ask you something, because I wear mineral makeup. And underneath my mineral makeup, because I thought with my mineral makeup, it probably has an SPF 15, maybe 8, I don't know, but that I might need more protection as I've gotten older, and wrinkles do set in because of sun exposure, and I live in Florida. Can somebody wear your sunscreen and still wear makeup over it, or is it not? It's not meant to wear makeup over it.
I don't think so. It's too, I don't think you'd be able to put makeup. You probably could, but I don't really know. Sorry,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Well, okay. So I just wanted to know, because I know that the nanoparticles, you want it to be non-nanoparticles because it goes into your bloodstream in 26 seconds. So it's good that you are.
I have a lot of wrinkles around my eyes from being out in the sun too much when I was younger, so that's why I want to keep it covered. But putting the sunscreen right there on those spots really would protect them.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is dental floss.
Okay.
Dental floss, very critical. Dental floss is poisonous. It's coated with PFAS, with stuff that's plastic compounds that are really dangerous to use, and people use it once or twice a day. You have to get a natural floss. Here's a natural floss brand called Cocoa Floss. It makes silk. This was made of coconut. I guess it's made of coconut fibers. But in any case, you have to get a natural dental floss. You don't want to hurt yourself.
Let me see let me see if I can see it. There we go. Okay. I use something that is similar to that, but it's not that.
Okay, I'll take it out.
Yeah,
this is not, here you can see it better. This is not, it's not the only brand of natural floss, obviously.
Correct, yeah. So you're saying, no, they have the waxes and all that stuff to make it glide gently and all that. That's not good for you.
No, you don't want to have that.
Correct.
That floss is dangerous.
Yes, and it has Teflon, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, they put these plastic compounds on them.
That's terrible. Okay. So is that something that you changed just recently, or is that something that you've been aware of and just didn't know there were other alternatives?
No, we've been aware of it for probably 5 years or so.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Most people don't realize that their floss has plastic in it that hurts us more than anything, and it goes right into the gums. That's just right there.
Putting it in your mouth. Yeah.
In your mouth. Yeah. Okay. So what are you looking for specifically when it comes to flossing?
Using a natural substance.
Just natural.
That's not, don't make a synthetic commercially popular flosses. It's like whenever you buy something that's made for the masses, they're cheap and they're made with chemicals. And they're nylon, they're plastic, they're coated with things. So these are natural floss. They're a little more expensive, but it's a cheap item anyway. You
know what? I think the floss, whenever I need to use it, because I use a water pick, and but whenever I do need to use the floss, I think it's called Nature's Floss or something to that effect. I
Yeah,
can't
something like
remember what it is. It doesn't have any, like that's what you're looking for. You're looking for no wax in it. You don't want it, you don't need to for it to glide or anything. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So then as I got older, with more hiking and more outdoor hiking, I was developing irritation between my toes, like where I have to wear like a rubber cap over my toe because it would rub against the other and cause like irritations. But I realized that I was wearing these great shoes like Hoka shoes, which could be great cushioning.
Yeah, that's been in your top for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have the toe room on the pinky toes. They were pushing my. I still wear this to run. I ran today this morning. I ran the Hoka shoes. They're great. But for hiking and when I'm in shoes a lot, I'm not wearing these. They don't have enough toe room. This brand of shoe that I wear all the time is called Ultras, Altra. They're square on the front, and they have a bigger, more room for the little toe. Since I got my Ultras, I've never had a problem my toes rubbing anymore. Never have to wear a coating on my toes. Were perfectly great now. My feet are great. I just wear these all the time. I use them for hiking, running, wearing in the garden, and I have the Ultra hiking shoes, or another brand is Topaz that are shaped like your foot more in the front with a wider toe box. The Hokas are just not wide enough in the fifth toe for all day use, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing how these have labeled my foot to heal because of the extra walking. Maybe my front of my feet spread out a little bit or in better alignment now that I'm doing more walking with a wider toe box shoe, and the toes aren't rubbing against each other. So it's
interesting.
Really
interesting. So you were able to eliminate the rubbing in in your toe area because your feet now are wider. Now, is there something to be said, because we see people in other countries? I just saw people run a marathon barefoot, and I don't know how they do it, because I walk on the beach and I hit like a tiny little shell. I'm like, ow, I'm doing that. But there are people that you know,
I don't think that's good for the body to be walking barefoot or even with minimal
running.
shoes.
Yeah.
Running on hard surfaces. Yes, grass, dirt, sand, natural soft surfaces, sure, but on hard asphalt and pavement and cement, that's too much impact on your aging joints. But of course, you know, we've talked about before that 50% of people are pronated. And you can buy like a $200 orthotic. This is one plus $30 on Amazon, like a 200. It's like a great orthotic called, it's called Power Step Pinnacle Max. Power Step, not Power Step or Power Step Pinnacle, but Power Step Pinnacle Max, because it's posted for pronation. And I also take the inliner that came with the shoe and I cut it out and I glue it to the inside of the Power Step with rubber cement.
What kind of glue do you use for your shoe?
I use contact cement. Contact cement is can bend and flex without still. You can use rubber cement, but rubber cement can peel off. You might want to try it with rubber cement. If you like it, then put contact cement. Contact cement is harder to peel off, but it really sticks great. It's flexible; it never comes off. So I adjust the height of the arch with gluing the liner onto the Power Step Pinnacle Max to allow for arch support, because most people are pronated, which makes more arthritic damage to the medial tibial condyle, the inside of their knee.
Okay.
The other thing that's happened in this last year is this, you know, $90,000 machine I bought for the retreat to treat people's shoulders, hips, ankles. You know, so many people coming into the retreat have pain in their shoulder, neck, disc disease in their back, arthritis in their knees or hips, wrist injuries, carpal tunnel, Achilles tendonitis. They come in here and they always say, okay, what's hurting you? What's bothering you? Always has something hurting them. And this machine called the Softwave TRT, it's a type of shockwave therapy like no other. It goes deeper, it goes wider, it's more gentle, it's not like the pounding, but it's so incredibly effective. You know, take away a person's frozen shoulder or carpal tunnel, fix the meniscal injuries in their knees, the things like magic, you know, 10 years of chronic back pain, people don't need surgery anymore. So you put this, when you put the machine on, I don't have one, you have it here.
Yeah, but what is the machine? Okay, you said, first of all, it was Softwave PRT, like P as in Paul?
Softwave TRT.
TRT.
Softwave, yeah, like therapy, rejuvenation.
Is it microcurrent technology? Is it?
The current is devised in Germany. Actually, it's a fluid filled dome, and the fluid it's full of liquid, and it also has an electric impulse. As the water pulsates, the electric impulse shocks it. And it gives you a shock wave, and they use this called lithotripsy to break up kidney stones.
Oh.
These water-based electrical shock waves with water. But this newer technology can break up scar tissue, calcification in a joint, rejuvenate a joint for cartilage healing, so stem cells can go in. Instead of paying $10,000 to have your knee injected with stem cells, you can just get this therapy for a few $100, and it makes it so obvious after a few treatments. It's just incredible how you feel back to normal again.
Wonderful.
So it's like, so it's amazing. So I'm mentioning it because you don't only have to come to my retreat to get Softwave. There's providers all over the country. You can go on their website, softwavetrt.com, and you can put in your zip code, and it'll give you a list of people who have the equipment in your area, your vicinity.
Yeah.
If you have some musculoskeletal injury that's so effective at completely resolving the injury. And then it also, because it's shocking the area, it signals stem cells to come in and enhance the repair mechanisms as well. But it really is, there's no other way to break down calcified and abnormal tissue, the scar tissue, the herniation, the disc, the bulging disc. There's no other way to fix that stuff without surgery, unless this machine, which in some way can destroy abnormal tissue without hurting normal tissue. It's really a phenomenal thing. So I've been,
as you know, I had the car accident that I had in 2017 that caused 4 herniated discs, and I was surgical, and they were going to I said, no, I'm not going to do surgery, because when you do surgery, you're creating more scar tissue, you're creating more problems, and they could not guarantee I'd be pain free. Well, I used the Avasia. I remember I talked to you about Avasia in the past, and that completely helped me. And I use it periodically. As a matter of fact, today I injured myself. I don't know how this weekend, and I've been using it today because, I've been experiencing some pain. That'll go away. It is amazing how the body, when you shake it up like that, it really does a good job at healing itself.
It targets the issue that's hurt. In other words, if you've got a part of your shoulder where you have a calcification, the machine will tell you, because that's where it's hurting when you got in that one spot.
Yeah.
And you stay focused with the machine on the one spot of pain. So this part of the shoulder doesn't hurt, that part doesn't hurt, that part. And you find one spot that hurts, it actually the machine signaled you where the calcification that needs to be broken up. So when you can show it on an X-ray, the before and after on the X-ray, how the calcification disappears from the joint.
Wow. So how did you hear about this product? I mean, did you have somebody in your family have any pain, or did it?
Yeah, I had an injury, and I went to an orthopedist looking to use shockwave therapies, and I realized there were all these different machines that people had. So I looked into, well, maybe I should buy one myself. And I spent like 6 months researching, and I found that most of the machines that cost about $30,000 that these doctors were using were not effective. They were using compression shocks, and they weren't using water shockwave. And there's 3 different types. There's focal, which means it goes in a narrow area, or radial, which goes wide and too shallow, or there's mechanical shocks. And this soft wave shock goes wider, deeper, and with a softer wave, which doesn't damage normal tissue as much, and goes deeper, can be used. And now it's being very effectively being used for both erectile impotence and also for women with pelvic pain.
Wow.
And premental nerve syndrome. So I also researched it with my daughter, has a pelvic pain issue. So it had to do with all these different things you could use it for. They also use burn healing and wound healing, because it brings circulation to the area, and it can close up a non-healing wound like an ulcer. So it's one of the adjunctive therapies we have here at the retreat.
Wonderful.
Which enables us to get people back to heal faster.
Great to hear. Great to hear. And you saw the results of the treatment. So how much does a treatment cost if somebody is interested in going somewhere, and they can go to the softwavetrt.com? I'm going to reach out to them and see if they'll come on the show. Do you know more or less approximately what a treatment is worth?
Because the machine's very expensive. We charge about $1,200. Oh, I'm sorry, we charge $1,400 for 6 treatments. It comes out to $240 a treatment. Okay.
So 6 treatments. And have you noticed that that's enough to get them pain-free?
Well, they feel better after the first 2 treatments. They even feel better after 1 treatment. Some people could hardly. So even after 1 or 2, they're feeling better. But we still recommend people usually complete, even if they're all better by the first 3 or 4, they usually should complete 6 treatments is ideal.
Very good. Very good. That's a great find. Especially, people run to surgery too quickly. The body has an ability to heal itself, but we got to give it what it needs. And when we're a child, those stem cells that when we cut ourselves, these stem cells just go to the area to just like heal it and make sure that there is a scar that forms, and that's the natural progression. But we medicalize any problem that we have and stop and slow down the process of healing. So
now I know there are magnetic therapies, there are electrical therapies, there are red light therapies, there's also heat and vibration, there's ultrasound therapies, there's all types of therapies you can use that are all effective. But this takes it to a different level, especially when something's more serious and acute. It's not just healing, it's kind of like directly targeted an injury and getting it to repair itself. So it's really fascinating.
Very
and so I've
good.
had that machine more than a year now. Over about a year, so
That's great. That's great. That's great to
But
hear.
the next thing I wanted to mention was the Dr. Fuhrman Thai curry sauce. If you haven't gotten my Thai curry sauce, I go to a friend's house, I go skiing in Utah and somebody invites me over, and or I'm in, some part of the Colorado, and a person invites me over to the house for dinner. And they say, well, what should I make you? I say, just put vegetables in a wok, any kind of vegetables, broccoli, onions, any kind of vegetables. And I bring the Thai curry sauce and I just take a spoonful of that, put it on top, and you got a fantastic meal. It is so great that it makes any kind of vegetable taste fantastic. You're just heating it up, defrosting it, and just throwing a tablespoon of Thai curry sauce on top. It makes a meal. So I'm just recommending that.
So is it frozen or is it in a jar? Is it in a jar?
Oh, it's in a jar, a glass jar. You open it up, you take a spoonful of that, you throw it on top, you mix it with the vegetables, and boom, you have dinner made. It's nothing.
Wow. Wow.
And one of my favorite things to eat is these dehydrated tofu jerky. I make my own tofu jerky, like beef jerky. And I take a block of extra firm tofu and I divide it into 5 squares. So I make 4 cuts in it, 5 pieces of tofu laid end to end in the dehydrator. But then I mix into it a Dr. Fuhrman tomato sauce, a couple of tablespoons of Thai curry sauce, 1 small jar of tomato paste, and 1 teaspoon of almond butter. And I mix it together to thicken the sauce, to make it really thick so it doesn't fall off the tofu. And the Thai curry sauce gives the tomato sauce an incredibly flavorful effect. So now I dehydrate it for 24 hours at 130 degrees. And it gets it, but I piled that tomato sauce on high. I could show you some, I have them already made. But in any case, I have them in my refrigerator. They're incredible. But and I use this dehydrator I got. I've had a lot of different brands of dehydrator. This one I love the best. It really works great. It's called the Crownful. I, of course, have no association with the hat, with the shoes, I do sell the sunscreen here.
Yeah.
And the Thai curry sauce, but it's called Crownful Dehydrator. I love this dehydrator. It's really phenomenal. These are not expensive. So I dehydrate it for 24 hours in there. And it makes it really hard, like beef jerky. And I cut it into strips. The dog loves them. I just gave a whole bunch of people at the retreat. It's like a great concentrated food, especially for traveling on planes or something, where you have a couple of them stuffed in your bag.
Very nice. Very nice. And do you add anything else? Just the sauce, the Thai curry, and what else did you say? The Thai curry tomato sauce? I added
Dr. Fuhrman tomato sauce because our tomato sauce has no salt or oil in it. It's just tomatoes, and it's just a great tomato sauce. But I add a jar of organic tomato paste to thicken it. I take the jar of tomato paste and add it to my tomato sauce, and then I thicken it further by putting in a teaspoon of almond butter, and I thicken it further by adding a heaping tablespoon of the Thai curry sauce. And usually I'll put like 3 jars of tomato sauce and 3 jars of tomato paste, and make a whole bunch at one time, because I'll take like 6 blocks of 6 or 7 blocks of the extra firm tofu and make a whole ton of this stuff. I'll make a big salad bowl, giant salad bowl full of this tomato sauce thickened with more ingredients in it. And I'll make a huge amount at one time. I'm going to run the dehydrator. Might as well make enough for like a couple of weeks in there.
Right. And it's so healthy for you. Okay. So let's take a little pause here, because when we think about tofu, I've heard this over and over again, and I know I want you to share what I know from you and research as well, that most men should not have, or women should not have tofu because it gives cancer. It causes cancer. So let's talk about that myth, because I'm sure if Dr. Joel Fuhrman is having tofu, this is a healthy food for all of us.
Are we taking a break? Oh, we'll continue.
No. I'm just saying we're taking a break from the must-haves.
That's this nonsensical stuff, because the meat and dairy and egg industry, even the restaurant industry, they've got billion-dollar budgets, marketing budgets, and they spend a huge amount of their billions of dollars to make up nonsense about plant-based foods like soy and tofu. There's
Mhm.
no, in other words, the scientific literature has a huge amount of corroborative studies where it shows the same thing, that eating soybeans or tofu, it reduces risk of prostate and breast cancer and makes people live longer. There's no, so it's just made up nonsense. The genistein, the estrogen-like compounds, actually block the estrogen receptors from being stimulated by your own estrogens, lowering the risk of breast cancer. But they stimulate the E2 receptors on bones that give you more strength and bone mass with aging. So there's a lot of studies on the subject that show that eating soy products extends lifespan. But like any food, we recommend organic corn may not be bad, but you don't want to recommend Fritos or corn chips, because so same thing with soy. A processed soy food, an isolated soy protein is not a favorable food, but a whole soybean and edamame and tofu and soy milk are made from, they're having the fiber removed, so they're not as probably as a superfood like a real soybean would be, where you buy dried soybeans or edamame. But they're still a good food, and certainly they're fine in moderate amounts.
Well,
So soy foods are beneficial food to complement and helps you create good balance in your diet. They don't have a negative effect. But a nutritarian diet has a wide variety of foods and a wide variety of beans. We're not just living on soy. That wouldn't be favorable. A person ate nothing but soy, or that was the sole source of protein was the soy. Mm-hmm. We're having black beans and kidney beans and chickpeas and nuts and vegetables and some soy. So it's the diet's designed to maximize human lifespan. And one of the assets is the wide variety of healthy foods we consume.
That's wonderful. And should we, I think we need to add on there is that we want the soy to be organic, right? Organic tofu, organic soy.
Right now in my life, I do everything organic. Mm-hmm. I really do everything organic because I can afford it. And, but if I couldn't afford it, then some things are particularly important to get organic, particularly things like that have surface areas like leafy vegetables or broccoli or berries and strawberries that are porous. Things with skins or heavy husks are not as important. But certainly I just about do everything organic because I feel that the farmers and the people who are collecting and bringing food to us are sacrificing their health and with increased risk of lymphomas and leukemias by working with chemicals. And by more economic, if everybody eats organically, it protects us, but it also protects the people working and growing the food, because having to work with chemicals is detrimental to their health. And then we're eating food that's putting other people at risk to produce our food. When we're eating organic, we're not putting the people that are growing our food at risk just to make it and bring it to us. So there's more mindfulness and more respect for the people growing and making our food when we support the organic movement, because hopefully everybody will buy organic and everybody won't, and the workers and the farmers won't have to be working with chemicals anymore.
Well, I want to address that you can afford eating organic, but it's interesting for people who say they can't afford it. They can certainly afford their medical stay. How does that happen? And so I really believe that priorities change as you get older and as you get sicker, because there's a Indian proverb, it's either an Indian or a Chinese proverb that says, healthy person has 1,000 dreams, but a sick person only has one. And so when you think about, I can't afford organic, but they can't afford a medical stay just in case those toxins do cause a problem in their body, then we need to just revisit what we can't afford again. Because health is the most important thing, and there's so much chemicals and pesticides in our food that I don't even try it. If there's strawberries and blueberries and they're like, they think that I can have them, if they're not organic, I won't have them.
I don't eat strawberries if they're not organic either. If I'm going to a conference and they're serving strawberries, I don't touch them.
Yeah. And I always ask if it's a strawberry, and I don't want to be rude or anything, but I just know that I was at a party one time, Dr. Fuhrman, and all I could eat at that party were strawberries and blueberries. And because everything else was not something I could eat. And so I sat there and we're just enjoying our conversation. I'm eating my berries. And all of a sudden my lips felt like they had blown up and they were tingly and my eyes started itching. And I turned to the lady beside me and I said, "Are my lips swollen?" And she said, no. So the inside of my mouth started tingling and started swelling up. And I said, that's it. No, no, I'm not even going to risk it anymore. So it's just crazy how this happens.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So before we continue on with Dr. Fuhrman's information and his top must-haves for 2024, I just want to share with you, go to whenyounneedafriend.com. And while you're there, please subscribe to my channel, to my website, and also subscribe to all my social media. There's BitChute, Odyssey, there's I was telling Dr. Fuhrman that YouTube and Facebook have, well, not Facebook, YouTube has deleted several of his videos from 2017, 2000. You know, it's just crazy the way there's censorship. So make sure that you also subscribe to BitChute and Odyssey so that if there's anything that happens, that you'll know where to find me at whenyounneedafriend.com, as well as other social medias. You can check out my sponsors, support them the way they're supporting the classroom. We have 2 events coming up, or actually on December 20th, we're going to be giving in honor of Dr. Lorraine Day. We're going to be giving a DVD of 100 lessons from the Exodus. And so if you would like a copy of this DVD, just text me at 407-373-5959 or email me at lily@whenyounneedafriend.com and claim your prize. Your name will go into the winner's basket. And once on December 20th, I will draw one name and we will send a DVD to you. Now, if you're from out of the country, if you want to pay for the shipping, you can. But we can give you the online version. So you have the option of one or the other. All of you have the option, but it's the DVD that we're giving away. Okay. So then also on February 3rd, 2024, we have the great pleasure of, or I have the great pleasure of hosting the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit. And Dr. Joel Fuhrman will be our keynote speaker. I'm really excited about this because we've learned from him. I've learned from him since 2015. You've learned from him, but this time we're going to all learn with him together. We're going to Zoom him in and he will see us and we will see him and we'll be able to ask him questions. So if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, please get your ticket. Go to whenyounneedafriend.com. There's a pop-up that you can get your ticket so that you can have your front row seat in the summit. Last but not least, you can become an enrolled student in the classroom. You can go check out my Shop Now bag, check them all out. You can become a student in the classroom and you can donate $1 or $1,000 a month, whatever you can afford. Just whatever you can give will be greatly appreciated. Your time, your talent, your treasure. So please consider giving as the year ends to the classroom who's trying to stay on top of these algorithms and being canceled. So we are strong and we're going to make this work through 2024 and beyond. So today we have Dr. Joel Fuhrman. I am excited that he is with us today. You can find Dr. Fuhrman at drfuhrman.com and go there and purchase some of these products that you're hearing about today. And also, if you haven't done so already, send him your favorite, or you can write on the comment section some of your favorite stories or the great lessons that you've learned from Dr. Fuhrman. I know that for me, it's endless. It completely changed and transformed my life. And it started with me being raw vegan, being challenged on the show. But after 3 years, it just didn't support me the way that it was at the beginning. And then when I met Dr. Fuhrman, I knew that I just had to try this. And since then, I'm a Nutritarian. So I'm excited about being able to promote you, Dr. Fuhrman. And I'm thrilled that you've been in the classroom since 2015. It's such a gift.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. And I'm excited about the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit. So thank you about that, so that you're going to be joining us. Yes. Okay. So let's keep going. What else do you have? What else do you have?
Well, 2 things. One is I use this thing called Green Pig Compost Accelerator. It's also a phenomenal product. You know, I put out compost, your food compost, your weeds from your garden, whatever, whatever you're dumping in there.
Yeah.
And you put this Green Pig It's in a little plastic bag or a little soft bag. You put it in your watering can, and it dissolves in the watering can, and you water the compost. And within 30 days, it contains bacteria that accelerate the decomposition, the degradation of the natural product. So it makes for the bacteria degrade it, and it makes for your compost doesn't smell, and it turns it into beautiful soil in a couple. So it really accelerates and makes your compost work. Usually
Interesting.
called Green Pig Compost Accelerator, because I have over 100 fruit trees. And here where I am in San Diego, the soil is like a hard clay pot. The trees can't even put their roots into it. So I dig out a donut hole around the tree, and I mix good soil in there. And I use my own compost that I made from soil, food scraps, weeds, maybe a little horse manure, whatever I put in there. And I put this Green Pig Compost Accelerator on it. And then in a couple of months, when the temperature cools down, because I have a compost thermometer that I measure the temperature. When the compost accelerator raises the temperature to sometimes over 100 degrees, so it's decaying the compost fast. But then when the compost goes down below 80 degrees within 2 months, then I can put the red wiggler worms on. Then I put and the worms. So I have these giant piles of compost, and I have 3 separate piles at different stages, already cooking, making compost all the time. But in my house in New Jersey, when I had 15 trees, not 100 trees, I still had a compost pile. I still did the same thing, but this makes a ton of difference.
Wow, it's interesting. So it's called Green Pig Compost Accelerator.
You got it.
And you just put it into your watering can.
Yes.
What a great name too, because I can just see pigs dissolving all that the food and converting it into something healthy like manure to build.
At least it's a name easy to remember, right? I don't remember what did I call that stuff I ordered. That's Green Pig.
Yeah. Okay, what you got next?
This is hard to believe. You know what my favorite ice cream is? My favorite. It's a fruit called durian. It comes out as ice cream out of the fruit. It's already fatty and creamy, just like ice cream. Have you ever had durian?
Durian?
Durian. Durian. Durian.
No. Wait a minute. Isn't
It's the one with
durian?
It's the one that people remember because of a foul smell.
Yes,
There's a
yes.
bad smell. But when
It
you
looks
the smell doesn't bother you. Oh, the picture of it looks like if you have a real whole durian fruit, it has these spikes that could use it for a medieval, weapon to kill people.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. But you can saw right through it and open it up and get the fruit. But you can also buy these frozen packs of durian. There are these frozen packs of durian. They're grown in Thailand from the Asian market. A lot of people have Asian supermarkets around where they live. There's one near San Diego called 99 Ranch, where for like $20, you get a box of durian. And as a treat, it's the most incredibly delicious natural food, like an ice cream containing stuff. So I keep it in my freezer and just have it like once a week as a treat. It's really phenomenal. You got to try it.
Some people say it smells like poop, but then it tastes much better than what it smells. When it's frozen, does it smell bad still, or does the smell go away?
I don't think it smells bad at all. I don't think it really smells bad. But when it's frozen and you let it partially defrost, because it has a creaminess like an avocado, but it's also textured thick also, so it has like a chewiness to it. So it's creamy and chewy. So it has the real consistency of like not another fruit, because it's really ice cream, because it has the fat in it. It's got fat in it and sweet and fruit. So it really it's definitely like you're eating ice cream or an ice cream pop, like a fudgesicle pop.
So is that all you do? You put it in the blender and blend it?
No,
or
no,
do you add
no,
bananas to it? Or
no. Just take it out and eat it. You don't do anything to it. Just take it out of the freezer, let it sit on the counter for 5 or 10 minutes, and you eat it. You do nothing to it. It's already creamy like ice cream. You don't do anything to it. It's the greatest treat. It's worth trying if you haven't tried it.
Oh, I'm going to do it. There's an Asian market in Merritt Island that I'm going to go to, and I'm going to get it, because gosh, 3 or 4 years ago, I heard of durian, but of course, some people say it smells, some people say but then they say it tastes good. Some people say it smells bad and tastes bad, but I just didn't go any further than that. So when was the first time that you tried durian?
Maybe about 20 years ago.
Oh, so you've been able to have, so this is something that is a treat for
No,
you all along?
no, because I've tasted it 20 years ago and maybe didn't have it for 5 years or 10 years because I had no access to it. But now, since moving to San Diego, I noticed they sell it in a supermarket in my, like not that far away. And I've tried it more because they both had fresh durian, frozen durian, boxed or taken out durian. So they've had it more available here. So I've been eating it more often now. But I didn't have access to it, but I have tasted it in the past. But certainly, I think like any other food, when you taste it a few times, the more you eat something, the more you like it. Like my wife never even liked mangoes when she first started, but now she loves mangoes. But I haven't gotten her to really get into durian yet. But I mean, it's something it's definitely fantastic. Once you start eating it regularly, you love it.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try that because you go back and forth and you go, okay, so what are the nutrients of durian? Does it have is there a particular nutrient that you particularly like, or is it just that the fruit is good?
Yeah, all fruit is rich in nutrients. Durian is maybe it's a little higher caloric than other fruits because it has some fat in it. Like it's a little more fatty, but you just eat one sliver of it, one piece that comes out. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's great food.
Good. I'm gonna put
something cool for people to try, and you can have it
I'm putting asterisks on the ones that I'm just gonna go and get.
For a party food, or you have company over and you have pull out some frozen durian, and people going, "Oh wow, I never tasted that in my life." Oh, so I served it at the retreat to 15 guests, and I think everyone liked it except one person. Everybody said, "Wow, this is fantastic," except for one person.
And I wonder if they have that. It's just like some people love cilantro. They love cilantro, but then there's others that think it tastes like soap. Like my husband, he hates cilantro. But if I cook with cilantro, he can tolerate it. But if I put it as like on top of soups or things like that, he will not have it. He just doesn't. He says it tastes like soup. And so some people say that
nobody could not like it that much. I mean, this is like it's sweet, it's creamy, it's fruity. It doesn't have any off taste or strong taste.
Okay. I'm going to put another asterisk on here. Like I said, I live very close to a market that has these. It's an Asian market, and so I'm almost positive that they'll have it there. So I will check it out and get it, and I'll report to you next time I see you how I like it. Okay, so what else do you have in your beautiful pack?
Well, I could go on forever, but I also think it's very important that people have a water meter stick, so they can test the soil of the plants. You can't just water things willy-nilly to get root rot. You got to water things that need to be watered, and you let them dry out, and then you water them heavy, and then you let them dry out, and you water them heavy. So there's different types of water meters. There's the ones that are like 12 inches for house plants, but there's the ones that are longer for outdoor trees. And having a longer water meter stick for your outdoor trees, especially if you're growing fruit trees like I am, is a very critically important tool to know when to water your trees.
That's
and also you have to build your trees so they're up above the level of the ground. So the root balls above the level of the ground. Then you got to build a lip around them with rocks or with dirt. So when you water them, the water pools in the tree, but you don't want to have it below the level of the ground so water pools, because then you can get root rot. You want it above the level of the ground so you can pull water to water heavy when you want to, so the root ball gets wet. But you want to have, when nature throws too much rain there, you don't want to be flooded in water. So you want to plant the throat of the tree above the ground if you can, 6 inches, above the ground, 6 to 8 inches above the ground. But you want to build up soil around it with rocks or with a raised bed. And then you want to make it so it's raised enough so the outer border can prevent water from running off the ball when you water it. Those are just little tips of how to have great fruit trees, to grow great fruit trees.
Well, I will tell you, firsthand experience of being in your retreat center. It is absolutely beautiful to see. You're so proud of your trees and your plants and your garden, and you can see that you pour love into everything that you do. And one of the signs that I have in my house, in my kitchen, is my secret ingredients is love. And I could see that you pour a lot of love into your cooking and the food that your family and your patients eat as well, and all of us that buy your products. So we have about 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left in the broadcast. And so speak to someone who's struggling with their health right now. And yes, it's nice that they can get all these things, but what would you want them to know about entering 2024 with the hope and the desire for better health?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're all living, we're able to learn, and we're all going to die at some point. Our life is not forever. But to make the most of our life in the best condition possible and to have as much enjoyable life, we need two things. One, we need to care for other people and feel for them and relate to them and be compassionate towards them. We have to make it not about how much ego glory we get, not about promoting ourselves, getting people to like you, getting people's approval. It's not about how many people like you. It's about how many people, how you like other things, how you like the world outside of yourself, your gratitude and appreciation for the world around you. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because when you don't need the approval of other people, you can take better care of your own health, because now you can eat better without feeling uncomfortable. Because when you eat healthy like we eat, we make other people feel uncomfortable, and they show their displeasure that we're eating so healthy, because it makes, in some way, they feel criticized, they feel like they couldn't do it, they think that what we're doing is not good, and it makes people feel unable to relate to other people when they're eating this healthfully. And I'm saying this way of eating, it tastes great. We enjoy emotionally what we're eating because we know it's good for us. We're enjoying the flavor of the foods we're making. We're spending more time cooking and preparing it to make it taste really good. So we get more pleasure from eating, and we also get pleasure protecting our health. If you add on that third element of having creative goodwill for other people and not need their support, in other words, instead of going for externally generated self-esteem, where people are feeling like you're impressive or you want them to be impressed by you or like you want to be like, instead it's internally generated self-esteem. The internally generated means every interaction you're questioning, are you trying to use your creativity and wisdom to have goodwill for the other person? Then it doesn't matter so much if they approve of you or not. It doesn't matter if they're putting you up on a pedestal. It doesn't matter if you feel insulted. It doesn't matter if you feel put down by what they said. It doesn't matter if they didn't use the right words. Your ego doesn't really matter anymore. It doesn't matter. You just feel that you have an opportunity to have goodwill for this person. So what I'm saying to this friend of yours is that they're alive. They have the ability to feel good about themselves. And that's combines with the way they're thinking, the way they're feeling, and the way they care for their body is all wrapped into the way they care for other people at the same time. So care for yourself, care for other people. You only get one body. You better care for it properly. And if you do, and if you care for the outside world and care for yourself, and it's not about your narcissistic tendencies to be superior, then it's no problem. Then you're not going to have any problem eating this way. You're going to really enjoy it and love doing this, because you're going to have a more effective life and more ability to have a good effect on others. And that's where the legacy comes in. That's where you are living. That's where the spirituality of living when you're dead is the wisdom you and the love that you left for people that are living to remember you with. That's the best type of spirituality, is doing good in your life and being caring and giving to other people. And then that lives on in their minds too. And you don't have to live forever. You don't have to live forever. You were happy when you were alive. You did the good you could do, and you're peaceful, even though your life is not going to go on forever. But take good care of your health and be the best version of yourself you can.
I love that. I love that, Dr. Fuhrman. You know, one of the things that I have experienced in changing my lifestyle, and this has been going on for now 12 years, is that people do feel uncomfortable with my lifestyle, but I feel perfectly fine. And if they and what matters is that we are true to ourselves as well. And if somebody else's opinion of me is going to keep me from being at my best, then I will never achieve anything, because there's a lot of haters out there, Dr. Fuhrman. And I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and you have set the trail. You've been very consistent with the way that you eat and the way that you help coach others into living the life of their dreams. And I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for everything that you do. You're an amazing man, and a 70-year-old man would never know it. Am I going to get some guns? Let me see those guns or the ab. Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it before we go into this class? Come on, I know you can do it.
I have a long sleeve shirt on. You can't really see too much.
Oh, then it has to be you pull your shirt up. That's what you got to do. There we go. Yay! There we go. I knew the class would end this way. So thank you so much, Dr. Fuhrman. Lots of love and blessings for 2024. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in February when we do the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit. So thank you so much.
Looking forward. Good luck, everybody.
And please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Dr. Joel Fuhrman wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert